Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the MNB Wrestling Report Week in Review video for the week ending January 16th, 2011. I am Mackenzie, the Chief Editor of the MNB Wrestling Report at mnbwrestling.com. You can follow me on the web at Mackenzie99. We had a decent week in WWE this week. Overall, Raw was quite a letdown compared to the previous weeks that have been so good. Was not a very wrestling-heavy show. Was mostly about putting over angles and feuds that are going on right now. The only two big stories to me that came out of it is Shawn Michaels getting nominated and inducted into the 2011 class of the Hall of Fame. Kind of surprised they're doing that already. I figured they would wait another couple of years, but hey, more power to him. I'm all happy for him. I think he deserves it without a shadow of the doubt. And I'm really looking forward to seeing his induction speech. I think it's just going to be amazing to watch. We also had the furtherance of the CM Punk Nexus angle, with CM Punk putting the members of the Nexus through initiation. This, I didn't really know what to think about it. To be perfectly honest, I think it was just an excuse for them to get Slater and Gabriel out of the Nexus. That's what I got out of the whole thing. Other than that, it just wasn't. I didn't think it was good. I didn't enjoy it. We'll see how it goes. I love CM Punk. I like the idea of him leading his stable and becoming a dominant heel on Raw. I just wasn't a fan of the segments. Going on to SmackDown, I want to apologize to everybody for the fact that we did not get a SmackDown review up this week. Real life just kind of got in the way of everybody this week. I am going to be doing the SmackDown review right here in the video. We opened up the show with some promo work with Alberto Del Rio and R-Truth. Dashing Cody Rhodes and Rey Mysterio got involved talking about the Royal Rumble match coming up in a couple of weeks. Kind of interesting that they haven't had many official declarations of who's going to be in the Rumble match. Going to be interesting to see how that one shapes up, because it's not a lot of time to announce, another 26 people. Anyway, it led to a tag team match that I thought was decent between Mysterio and Truth and Del Rio and Cody Rhodes. Mysterio and Truth won it in the end. Looked like Mysterio kind of botched his finish. Looked like maybe he slipped off the rope again. He seems to be doing that more and more often. He's been known to say that it's getting harder and harder for him to hit the 619 as he gets older. So we're going to have to see what ends up happening with Mysterio. I think he's going to have to evolve his game somewhat. He's going to have to take it in a new direction. But still a solid match. I'm going to go ahead and give it 2 stars. I thought it was a good match overall. We had Trent Beretta versus Drew McIntyre in what is apparently a continuing feud involved with the whole Drew McIntyre Kelly Kelly romance that pretty much everybody thinks is stupid. Except for, creative, which who knows what they think sometimes. Anyway, the surprise of the match was that Beretta actually got the win, which, he's basically been a jobber since he came up from ECW with Kalen Croft with the Dude Busters. Note, Croft is no longer with us. Gonna have to see where this one goes, but this match was pretty much just to put over an angle. I can't give it more than a half star. Drew just beat him up. Trent got a counter, and that was it. We had from there the Wade Barrett versus Big Show match. This was another match just to kind of put over a gimmick. They really did kind of put over Barrett at first. He took Big Show down pretty quick, kept him down through most of the match, and then when Big Show started rallying, getting the upper hand, you had Heath Slater and Justin Gabriel get involved. Because the DQ, probably the big surprise here to me was the involvement of Ezekiel Jackson. Jackson ended up jumping in, helping him take out Big Show when Big Show was fighting all 3 of them off. Very impressive when Zeke slammed Big Show. I mean, he got him up, and he held him for a good 3-4 seconds before slamming him down. That's 500 plus pounds. Zeke is a monster, and I really enjoy watching him. He's limited in the ring. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the facials. I don't I can't tell you, but I enjoy watching Ezekiel Jackson. If this leads to Jackson getting a push as part of the stable, I'm all for it. So I guess now we have two groups of Nexus. We have CM Punk's Nexus in Raw, which is your CM Punk leading David Otunga, Husky Harris, and Michael McGillicuddy. And then you have Wade Barrett leading the SmackDown Nexus, whatever they will decide to call themselves. Whatever they will decide to call themselves. Containing Heath Slater, Justin Gabriel, and Ezekiel Jackson. Could be interesting, but the match, I'm not even going to rate it. It was an angle. It was a gimmick. The match didn't mean anything. We had Kelly. We had Beth Phoenix versus Michelle McCool in what I thought was an above-average Divas match, but it was still a Divas match. I'm going to give it a star. Beth won it in the end with a counter to her finisher. Good, solid Divas match, but it was still a Divas match. Main event was the best part of the show in my book. You had some good promo work between Jack Swagger and Kofi Kingston, leading up to a non-title match between the two. Some good offense from both sides. Kingston ends up winning it with the SOS, which is honestly, I like that move better than the Trouble in Paradise. I think it's a cool move. Kofi gets the win in what I thought was a 2.5-star match. I thought it was a great TV match, strong show. Above average match for TV. Finally, we had our main event, which in my mind that match was the main event, but the main event for the evening was Edge interviewing Dolph Ziggler and Vicky Guerrero on The Cutting Edge. I was not impressed with this segment in any way, shape, or form. It was basically everything exactly what I thought it was. Dolph got the upper hand in the end, made out with Vicky standing over Edge's knocked out body. Yeah, if anybody thought that was going to go any other way, I don't know why. Overall, I'm going to give SmackDown a 6 out of 10. I thought it was an above-average show overall, but would have liked to see a little more wrestling like we usually get on SmackDown. It's interesting to me how variable the rating has been since they've moved to Sci-Fi. It's gone up and down 3 to 4 points sometimes from week to week. Just really sporadic. It's interesting. Going to be interesting to see how the rating evolves on this show. That's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this week. In future weeks, we're going to start adding in some extra news bites of what's been going on in the wrestling world. That's going to start in next week's review. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. This is Mackenzie. Once again, you can find us on the web at mnbwrestling.com. You can follow me on Twitter at Mackenzie99. That's MKNZY99. We'll look forward to seeing you next week, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the site.